What is the deal with Opus 4.5? Give us your thoughts, Thorsten.
It's an impressively good model, and we switched AMP to use it as the new default model behind the main agent. And as we wrote here, historic change, because just a week prior we switched to Gemini 3,
Yeah.
which I loved so much so that everybody made fun of me, and I still love it.
It's a
And
good
it was
model.
good. It was good to me. It never disappointed me. I don't like. It was amazingly good to me, but
It was a good model. It wasn't
yeah,
just you.
yeah, it's an amazing model. It has amazing highs, but for some users, it did have frustrating lows. So that means some users ran into the issue where it would, leak thinking, or it would go into like these loops and just produce output and output, which costs money. So we had like these amazing highs, but lows. And
Yep.
then a week later, Opus 4 comes out, we get early access. So we try this out. And it turns out it matches the highs of Gemini 3 without the low lows. It's yeah, again, like Gemini 3, amazing. I didn't have any lows with it, but our users did, and Opus
Mm,
4.5 doesn't have this. And like we said here, like better, faster, often cheaper. The tricky thing with this was Opus has always been like the most expensive model that Anthropic offered,
yep.
but they lowered the price for Opus 4.5.
Yep.
So it is 1.6 times more expensive on a per token basis than Gemini
Mm,
3, or I think Sonnet 4.5. I'm not sure. Can't remember exactly. But
close.
basically, the point is, yes, the price per token is higher, but how many tokens do you need to get a result, right?
Yes.
And what we found out here is that in our use case, this year, the average thread cost was lower than it was for Sonnet 4.5, and a lot of that is due to the 1 million context window. But
Yep.
in here, it's like it's 148 to $2.05. So it is more expensive. But we think, off the rails cost is what we calculated. Like
Tell
we
everybody what that is, because off the rails cost is a new metric. I like it.
so basically it's the way these agents work is the model says something and then it calls tools, then you get the results, you send the results back up to the model, and then the model says another thing, calls a bunch of other tools. Sometimes it goes off the rails, meaning it produces a lot of output. Like in Gemini, it went off the rails and produced a lot of thinking stuff, right?
Yep.
And leaked thinking. And when you look at this, you can see that Gemini 3 had this issue, and Sonnet also kind of had it, or had like a lot of these longer assistant messages that cost also, and Opus 4.5 barely has them.
Can you blow up the text
So,
for me? Make it real big.
oh yeah, yeah, like this,
Yeah,
I
there we go.
think. Yeah, so I'm like, ugh, messed it up. Yeah, but yes, it is more expensive per tokens, and yes, you can end up with threads that are expensive, and we're looking into this actively, and we've got user feedback already. But it's not as clear cut as saying, if the tokens are cheaper, then the result will be cheaper.
Right.
And we've talked a lot about this before with other cheaper and faster models, like Composer One, the Cursor model. It's presumably cheap and it's super fast. And when you see a model that's super super fast, you're impressed because you see all of that stuff flying past.
Totally.
But
But
then
it's
the
not
question
necessarily right.
is, exactly. Like it might go and do, oh, I failed to set it. Let me try this again. Let me delete this file. Let me
Yeah.
recreate the file. And it looks busy. It's a difference between being
Yeah.
busy and being
Easy and good.
productive. Yeah, exactly. And
Totally.
so there is something there, and we think
It's
it's
better.
worth it. And yeah, and I think since Opus 4.5, I truly think like
Yeah.
the game has changed again a little bit. I think
It's good.
it's impressive. Like it's one shot at a bunch of stuff that was,
It's really good. And it's interesting because I love Every and they always do a model kind of tear down. And Kieran, who we had on Next Token,
yeah.
basically said it feels like a step change. And I agree. Like as soon as we got access to it, I was like, whoa. You know how
Yeah.
it takes about 2 prompts for you to get that feeling of like, oh, how good is
Yeah.
this? And I was like, oh, this is feeling good. And it just kept feeling good.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and there's, that you have these things in the back of your head that as an engineer, that you're going to have to take care of because you think the model's not going to figure it out or remember, or
Mhm.
see the edge case. And then Opus started to proactively say a couple of those things to me. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay. I like
Yeah.